All right, let's get right into it. We are talking about one of the biggest, most important laws in all of American history. I'm talking about the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Sometimes you hear about laws and they feel kind of distant, right? Not this one. This law literally changed the entire game for millions and millions of people. And its impact, we still feel it today. And hey, let's be real. Besides being super important to know, this is going to help you absolutely crush a question or two on the GED. So you're going to want to pay close attention. Now, to really understand just how huge this was, we got to jump in a time machine for a sec. What was life actually like before this law came along? Well, the big problem was something called Jim Crow. And get this wasn't just about how some people felt. No, this was the law. States and cities actually had laws on the books that made racial segregation totally legal. Just try to imagine this for a minute. Before 64, it was legal to have separate schools, separate restaurants, even separate water fountains, and they were never equal. Then, boom, after 1964, all of that became illegal. The change was like night and day. And that is the magic number, 1964. This is the year, the absolute turning point where everything began to shift. And this was the answer. After so much struggle, so many marches, and so much courage from civil rights activists, the Civil Rights Act of 1964 finally became law. So what did it do? Well, it was a knockout punch to discrimination. It made it illegal to discriminate against someone because of their race, their sex, their religion, or their national origin. It covered all the bases, and we're talking everywhere. Its reach was incredible. This wasn't some weak law with a bunch of loopholes. It applied to your job, to schools, to any public place like a hotel or a lunch counter. The goal was to tear down segregation everywhere. Now, here's a detail a lot of people miss, but it's so important. The act didn't just change the rules. It also protected the people fighting for those changes. It basically said, hey, if you see someone trying to exercise their civil rights, you can't interfere. It gave the activists backup. Okay, so let's bring this all home. How does all this history get you points on your GED? Listen up. This is the cheat code right here. If you are taking that test and you see the year 1964, a giant light bulb should go off in your head. You're going to look for two key phrases in the answers: ending segregation or protecting equal rights. That is what the test wants to know you remember. Connect 1964 with those ideas, and you've got the point. It's that simple. So, what do you think? You feel ready to spot justice on a multiple choice question? If you're with me, drop a raised fist emoji in the comments. But I'm curious to hear what you think. I mean, this law did so much. Desegregating schools, fighting discrimination in the workplace. Which part do you think made the biggest splash in society? Let me know your thoughts down below, because that's what it all comes down to, right? This wasn't just some dusty old document. It was justice, alive and in action, changing the country for the better. And there you have it. The Civil Rights Act of 1964. If you believe in what this law stands for, equality for all, do me a favor and hit that like button. And hey, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss our next explainer. Thanks for tuning in.